Aloha. I wanted to make this quick video because I saw this video trending on YouTube. It's one of these in a nutshell, almost kind of like these big think videos, and just this new version of how you get your information, your science, your what the little movie clips of what and who you are. And this is basically the new version of education or school for the majority of people, because the university system is just a complex version on purpose to make people pay for information that is just of limitation, that is pawned off as your reality. And then it's really just like a bus pass to get on the bus of capitalism and start riding around as if you're successful or something. It has nothing to do with the human journey at all or anything like that. It just uses those things as punchlines to share some kind of, oh yeah, this is how it is, this is what's going on. It's all for control. It's all for constricting reality on a body level, on a mind level, on a soul level, and traps us in these limited versions of our reality. And this video is a good example of how we get trapped into these limited perspectives with these individuals who have these accents, who just speak to you like they know exactly what's going on in the world, and they just explain everything from the details of the Big Bang Theory to the evolution process theory to dinosaurs to space and NASA and all these things that are going out into space with your tax dollars. They have to put it in some kind of English accent to lock it down into your consciousness so you really believe in all these agendas that are being pushed along this control grid you call reality. It's a big ass bullshit story, and they have to so-called answer these big questions like, what are you? And basically keep you in this limbo space of separation. It is the separation program that has been polished over the years and just put up in your face like, this is it, this is your world, this is how you are. And I just wanted to share this video to give an example. I'll do a little commentary as it goes. I'll let it play, but just to give an example of how this shit really sells you your reality, and the balance to these stories being so like anchored into how we create our reality is because the other side of our reality is distraction. We're constantly distracted. Just kind of like in my last video, I was talking about like vegans and hardcore vegans, and how those options, the eating even healthy food, is not even available to people who live in the inner cities. And when you see the intent of Monsanto and see how that food and that program is designed to affect certain people, when you see the way the society is set up, when you see how this stuff is all programmed to affect not just humanity, but very focus groups within humanity, and what that intent is, it's really jacked up. And then stuff like this is flooded on the internet. These videos like, what are you, and what is the Big Bang, and all this other stuff, how you came from nothing. It's basically de-evolving your consciousness to believe just this scientific, which is an atheistic version of your reality. So you're basically just lost. You're a lost cell floating in space that evolved from some dinosaur boogers, and now you're a human being that has a smartphone. Congratulations, you made it. and your next step is to put a microchip in your body or merge yourself in some kind of way with technology or do some stupid ass shit like that to be more part of this control grid. And these are the happy-go-lucky ways of how stuff is sold to you with a soft and comfortable accent that you've been manipulated to believe in all these years by listening to David Attenborough on National Geographic, Planet Earth, and The Blue Planet, and all these damn documentaries that are out there that make you think like, oh, this is how you listen. The same thing goes for all those kids watching YouTube channels right now, listening to these so-called educational programs. Listen to the voices they're listening to, like how that affects children or individuals as a whole on a psychological level, like where their information comes from. People who speak like this is what it says. People who speak like this are the people who are smarter than you. These are the people who will give you your information. People who sound like this, they are the ones that make you inferior. You get all your information from them. You have to listen. You have to change who you are and how you are when somebody who sounds like this speaks to you or is in your presence. This is the subtle versions, like the subliminal versions of the supremacy program that we don't really look into because it's just like, oh, it's not a big deal. No, it's a big deal. It's a trend when you see nothing but certain individuals speaking to your kids and telling you this information. And you'll hear in this guy, his accent and everything, like it's the same thing. So I'll go ahead and play this. And this video, these are a whole bunch of videos. I've done this before on other videos. But yeah, so this is
what you are, according to science.
Are you your body? Well, kind of, right? But is there a line where this stops being true? How much of yourself can you remove before you stop being you?
Transhumanistic duck!
Makes sense.
You see how they slip that in there real quick. There's the evolution program again.
Your physical existence
From the
is
Big
cells,
Bang.
Trillions of them, at least 10 times more than there are stars in the Milky Way.
There's
A cell
another
is a living
program.
being, a machine made of up to 50,000 different proteins. It has no consciousness, no
It's a
will,
machine.
no purpose. It just is. But it is still an individual.
No will,
Together,
no
your
beginning.
cells form huge structures for jobs like preparing food, gathering resources, transporting stuff around, scanning the environment, and so on. If you extract cells from your body and put them in the right environment, they will continue to stay alive for a while. So, your cells can exist without you. But you can't exist without them. If we take all the cells away, there is no you anymore. Is there a line where a pile of your cells stops being you? For example, if you donate an organ, billions of your cells will continue to live on inside someone else. Does this mean that a part of you became a part of another
You
person?
can already tell
Or
this is all
another body
focused on the
part of
physical
you
reality.
alive? Or let us imagine an experiment. You and a random person from the street exchange cells.
They'll go into something
One at a
later,
time,
but
your
you'll
body
see
gets
they
one
don't
of
go
their
too
cells,
far.
Their body gets one of your cells. At which point would they become you? Would they ever, or is this just a very slow and gross way to teleport you? Let's make this more complicated. The image of our cells as a static thing is untenable. Almost all of your cells have to die during your lifetime. 250 million have died since the beginning of this video alone. Between 1 and 3 million per second. In a 7-year period, most of your cells are replaced at least once. Every time your cell setup changes, you are slightly different than before. So, a part of you is dying constantly. If you are lucky enough to become old, you would have cycled through roughly a million...
they all focus. This is one of the things that I didn't want to talk over for this part. I wanted to say something. That this is all focused on the cell and the biology, the physical reality of the biological representation of the human experience. Now, they're going to get into the philosophical space in a second, but they're only going to go so far and say that it's separate. But my point being is that they never go into the creative design, like how complex this design that we are, a consciousness into the body, having a mind, having a pineal gland, being able to experience higher planes and like psychedelic trips. They never go that far into anything understanding outside of that space, into that space, because the way this is presented to you is the way the entire university system, the entire public education system is designed to manipulate individuals to exist within a limitation grid so it can be controlled. So they have to convince you that you are just a floating cell in space, lost and just needing to be guided by a control grid.
Billion cells. So what you consider yourself is really just a snapshot. But sometimes cells are broken and don't want to die.
So basically, you're just one of these cells.
Of our bodies. We call them cancer.
And you need to be controlled.
Social contract and become basically immortal. Cancer is not an outside invader, it's a part of you that puts its own survival over yours. But you could also argue that a cancer cell becomes another entity inside us, another being that just wants to thrive and survive. Can we blame it for that? A chilling cell story is that of Henrietta Lacks, a young cancer patient who died in 1951. Usually, cells only survived for a few days in the lab, making research very hard. Henrietta's cancer cells were immortal. Over the decades, they were multiplied over and over again and used for countless research projects, saving countless lives.
Yeah, research.
Henrietta's cells are still alive.
Cancer for research. 20 tons of cancer they saved for so-called research. I think they would just not use, as destructive as this whole program is, they find an immortal cancer cell, they're not going to use it. There's many other things that are out there to destroy individuals. I doubt it.
Your DNA. Until recently, it was believed that all the cells in your body had basically the same genetic code. But it turns out this is wrong. Your genome is mobile, changing over time through mutations and environmental influences. This is especially the case in your brain.
Ridiculous.
According to recent discoveries, a single neuron in an adult brain has more than 1,000 mutations in its genetic code that are not present in the cells surrounding it. But how much you is your DNA really? About 8% of the human genome is made up of viruses that once infected our ancestors and merged with us. Mitochondria, power plants of the cell, once were bacteria that merged with the ancestors of your cells. They still have their own DNA. An average cell has hundreds of them, hundreds of little things that are not really human, but they still kind of are. It is confusing. Let's backtrack a bit. We know that you're made up of trillions of little things, made from more little things that are constantly changing. Together, all those little things are not static, but dynamic. Their composition and condition is changing constantly. So, we might just be a self-sustaining pattern without clear borders that gained self-awareness at some point and now has the ability to think about itself through time and space, but really only exists in this exact very moment.
See, no connection
Where did this pattern start?
to a higher.
Conception, when the first human arose, when life
There it
first
is.
began conquering us,
Evolution theory.
or when the elements that make up your body were forged in a star. Our human brains evolved to deal with absolutes.
Constantly
The fuzzy borders that make
pounding
reality
in that
are
evolution
hard to
program.
grasp. Maybe ideas like beginning and end, life and death, you and me, are really not absolute, but ideas belonging to a fluent pattern. A pattern that is lost in this strange and beautiful universe.
See, they want to tell you
The
you're
problem of
lost.
who we are isn't just a question of our cells, but it's also a question of our minds. Just as our cells can be divided and separated from us, so can our very brains be divided and separated from us, while still in the skull. Click here to go to my channel.
And what?
Yeah, so they want to tell you that you are just lost. You are lost, and if you're if you're constantly reminded that you are a mistake of evolution, an evolution theory, just like a big bang, you're just star stuff, that's it. There's no connection to a meaning and a purpose and a higher, a most high connection, a creator at all. You are just a mistake. As long as you're caught up in that limbo space of being lost, then you can be manipulated to be within a control grid. And the university system is out there to maintain that evolution theory, to maintain the Big Bang theory. These little videos are just like the little like little shots, like little hits, like a drug addict. Like if evolution theory, the Big Bang theory, the globe model theory, if all this shit was like a drug, these videos are like little hits. Like you're getting a little hit of your grid here and there, and the big hit is like you convincing yourself, the addiction to the grid as a whole, the addiction to the university system, the way they create our universe. It's like an addiction. And then when we're addicted to like drugs, then there's people who will fight. You can see this is an addiction. You fight people, you defend stuff, and it might not even have a connection to or a depth of understanding why there's nothing there that is real. It's just all the drug that is making us act and feel a certain way, and everything is part of it. These frequencies of voices, tones, personalities, information, like, and we're all being constantly, slowly, as long as we buy into this evolution theory, then we buy into this artificial evolution program of the synthetic reality, like transhumanism, and we even perceive how our reality engages in this human experience with stuff like the Mandela effect. We see it from the perspective of the addict. We see it from the perspective of the drug seeing something. So if we see something like the Mandela effect, then we have to see it through the eyes of how scientists see this, and they're the almighty people. They're the ones who must be doing this. So this must be some scientists, individuals who are messing with, you know, the dimensions and the natural human experience and all this stuff. No, like, they've been lying constantly our entire lives for centuries. These stories have been told, down to the fact that we were told that we live on a ball. We're told that they went to the moon. We were told that we came from a big bang. We were told that we came from monkeys. We were told about dinosaurs. Constantly told these movie reel storylines about who and what we are. And it's all full of shit. So I just wanted to share this perspective of, like, how this is an everyday thing. Like I said, this video is on the trending on YouTube. You can go see it right now on trending. It's on your trending thing, probably still up there. If you see this today when this video is posted, obviously. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, from all my relations, peace, love, and harmony.